Welcome to the first episode of this learning process. For you to edit on CapCut, which is our case study for now, you have to understand the interface of CapCut. First of all, this is your CapCut, right? If you look at the top part of it, you see a new project. If you don't have the application, you can go to your Play Store or App Store and search for CapCut. Install it on your phone and then first open it. Because it's a new account entirely, you can't see all these past works that you can see on MySpace. But this is how it's going to be for your first time user. You will see that it's empty and at the top of it has new projects, right? If you open your CapCut, it first of all asks you to sign in. You can sign in using your TikTok, your email, or whatever. It's all left to you. Or you can decide not to sign in. I advise signing in because it saves you stress of losing your work. First of all, after you sign into CapCut, you go to click the new project at the top right. Sometimes you might have difficulty navigating because on the bottom left, you'll see a part that has an icon that looks like a scissors. All right, you ensure that that is where you are. If not, you can see the scissor icon, you can see templates, and you can see your profile. All right, so ensure you've clicked on the very part that has the scissors icon. All right, when you click on new project, it opens up your gallery where you have to select either your photo or the video you have already which you want to work on. Go to your gallery and pick whatever video you want to edit, which I'm sure you must have recorded already. Click it, and on the top of the video, there's a little dots on it that you have to select it for the video to be imported. Or you can just click on the video or the image. On the bottom left right, you'll see it written on blue saying import. All right, so you click on the import and boom, the video is on CapCut. Then the journey begins just right there. For you to start editing, there are two things you must do for a start. First of all, you have to watch the video thoroughly. All right, because if you don't watch the video, how then will you know where to cut and split? After watching the video, I assume you should have done that. After what I just said, you watch the video and then you know places that have filler words, places that have errors whereby the person might have looked away from the camera or checked his or her script, or maybe had a distraction while shooting the video. When you find these very spots, you then go ahead to cut and split. How then do you cut and split? First of all, let's play around the interface, all right? And there's a hack that I'll be sharing with you right now. Most times, some editors do cut and split their videos before they reduce noise and make other effects. And it can be very challenging after cutting and splitting because you will have to now go to every cut to reduce the noise, to color grade, and do a lot more, which can be very challenging, I promise you. So I advise you to save time. I'll be sharing with you two ways which you can do this, all right? You either reduce noise and color grade before cutting and splitting, or you can finish cutting and splitting, then you add a color, you can highlight all the video and reduce noise. Or you can add the color grading layer at the top to color grade all the videos at once, all right? That also works. You get that also works. So, before we furthermore go into cutting and splitting, I want to show you certain icons you need to know. For you to start editing, you have to be familiar with the tools in the CapCut before you can be able. Because now, how can you split if you don't know the split tool? Alright, so on your phone, right? Before you start editing, let's get familiar with the tools on the application. At the bottom left, you can find the scissor tool I told you earlier before importing, right? Now that very scissor tool is where you have everything you need from your cutting, which is splitting, your speed, your animation, your effects, delete, enhance voice. When you click on that scissors button, you can see all these tools there, all right? Now, I will tell you about them and would furthermore use them at the cost of these classes. You don't need most of these. Most of the tools you need under the scissor tool, under the cuts and splits, the most important tools you need is the splits, the speed, the animation sometimes, effects sometimes, Then enhance voice in cases whereby you have poor output from the video. Then separate audio sometimes, because if you want to apply certain effects, it requires you to separate the audio from the video in cases where your video was recorded with the sound in it. You also have the remove background. I'll show you how to use that, mostly for chroma key and overlay and all that. Then camera tracking, not necessary. Your volume, very important. Transform, you can cut and adjust your video frame. Then the adjust layer, where you get to color grade your video quality, and so much more. That aside, including noise reduction, is all under this very cut as splits. The next icon close to the scissor is the audio. You see a music symbol, all right? When you click on it, you'll see where you can import your sound and sound effect and all that. Next to that is, you see the alphabet T, which I believe stands for text. All right, yeah, text. All right. So under the text, when you click the text, the T, it opens up where you can add the text, add stickers, add auto captions, text to audio, templates, and all that. Then we have the effects, where you can apply effects like this. That's video effect, body effects, and photo effects. Then the next to it is captions. For you to get something like this. Hi, welcome on board. In this video, I'll be teaching you how to become a confident editor. You go to the caption, you click captions, and then boom, we'll get there and then see how you can use the caption. The next is aspect ratio. If your video was shot on landscape, using the aspect ratio, you can now resize the video to either fit 9:16 for a portrait phone, or to fit TikTok better, or with Instagram 1:1, and all that. You see there are a lot of them over here. Then the next is the adjust layer. If you don't want to adjust manually on the video, you can add an adjust layer by clicking the adjust button just after filters. Then we have stickers and background that are aside. Then if you look at the video you have imported, at the bottom left of the video, you see a square icon that has two arrows. You see two arrows, and when you click on that very arrow, it opens the video on the wider screen for a preview of what you have done. Then next to it, in the middle of the video, you see the play icon, where you can play your video to watch what you're doing and see further progress. Then next to it, you see an arrow facing the left and another arrow facing the right, where you can undo and redo anything you've done while editing your video. And lastly, on your workspace, at the very edge, you'll see a plus icon in white, just in case you want to add more videos which you forgot to have added at the earlier stage of importing your video, or in case you want to add other stuff like overlays and all. You can now click on the plus icon, and then it takes you back to your gallery, where you can import either a video, a picture, or whatever. Now, with this, I'm sure you're familiar with CapCut. The very last thing you need to know about your interface is the exports. All right, just before you export, most times it's not necessary because it's auto set on 1080p for exportation. But if you want to export in a lower quality, you click on the Ultra HD symbol over there. There's a drop-down menu where you can adjust the resolution and code ratio and all that. But advisably, you should leave it on 1080p, which is Ultra HD. That will do. When you're done setting up that, then you click on the export button at the top right corner of your phone, and then your video is exporting, and that's all. So now you're done with the interface of CapCut. You can now start editing like a pro. See you in the next class.